Heyo, it's your boy Romango, and today we're making these sunglasses. Alright, so the glasses we're making today are going to be for my dad as a Father's Day gift, and we're going to be making them out of this zebra wood. In the past, I've also made glasses out of maple and walnut. Here's a pair of the maple ones I made. They also have ipe as the side pieces, but the maple and the zebra wood, those glasses turn out really well, but the walnut is just, it's more porous and less dense, so those glasses eventually broke. So I've just stuck to these two woods, making them. And the plans I got from another video, and this guy's channel's name is This Woodwork. I'll leave a link down in the description, but I really recommend you go check out his channel, because his video is pretty much what got me started making these glasses. And well, I know in his video he used dollar store like sunglasses, but I'm gonna be using these Oakley Frog Skins replacement lenses. So they're polarized. I think they were like 13 bucks, and they fit well enough that I can still use these plans and no problem. But the hinges I steal from a pair of readers, and I think I got these off of Amazon in like a 4-pack for 5 bucks. And what's important to note on these is that all right, the hinges, they actually have a spring, so they go out, and they go out a little bit more, and that's great for these wooden sunglasses, because the wood doesn't bend like plastic or metal. So those are the hinges you want. To start, I chop myself a piece wide enough for the glasses, and then rip it in two, one for the main part of the frame and the other for the side pieces. I cut out each of the pieces on the paper and then glue them to the wood using a spray adhesive. After I drill out the holes for the lenses, I can begin to cut, and I start with the main body of the frames. I take it to the bandsaw and first stand it on its side to cut the edge, because it would be a lot harder to do if the face was already cut. I then take it to the scroll saw and cut the holes for the lenses, keeping about an 1/8 and 1/16 inch away from the line to ensure I don't cut off too much. I tape the pieces back together and take it back to the bandsaw to cut out the face of the frame, continuing to stay about a 1/16 inch away from the line. Okay, so now that we got the glasses cut, we can start to shape them. And we're first going to start to do that with this front plane to match the lenses. And what I mean by that is these lenses, they have a slight curve. And what we need to do is to make that to match the profile of the lenses to the wood. So right now there's, I don't know if you can see, there's a gap. So, and how we'll get rid of that is by taking off this front edge, pretty much making it slope down until we get it to match. And we'll do that using the Dremel. Now that we finished shaping the front plane of the frame to the lens, we can cut out the holes for them. And I do that by drawing the lens onto the wood using the light to get it centered, and then using the Dremel to carve it almost right to the line. That way the lenses will fit in the groove and there will be no gap. And I pretty much keep shaving a little off at a time and just checking it again and again till it's right where I want it. So this process takes a while. Another tip whenever you're hogging out the inside of these glasses for the holes is to, whenever you're using the Dremel, is to actually angle it. This is a little exaggerated, but what it will do is keep it thinner from at the front while leaving a lot more meat on the back to keep it strong. To create the grooves for the lenses, I use this Dremel bit and chuck it up into the drill press. It's actually meant for grinding, so it kind of burns the wood a little bit, but it still works perfectly for what I need it for. I move the frame around the bit to create the inside of the groove, leaving a 1/16 gap between the groove and the face of the frame. I usually have to go back and sand the hole a little bit more, but it's so satisfying when it clicks in. Then it's just a matter of using the Dremel to finish shaping the glasses. Using sandpaper, I work my way up to 400 grit. And of course I keep putting them on while I'm making them. They're cool. But yeah, the Dremel gets you pretty dusty. After completing the frames, we can move to the side pieces, which is essentially the same process, just easier, because there are no holes to cut out for the lenses. Now we can attach the hinges, and with the last pair that I made, what I did was take some needle nose pliers and wrap the side pieces around it so that the arm is curving the other way, which I think made for a really strong connection when I glued it into the wood. But these pair of readers, well, they kept snapping instead of bending. So what I did was use a torch to heat it up, and then used another pair of pliers to hold the spring hinge steady while I bent it, and that worked fine. But I'm gonna look for some other spring hinge readers to use for future glasses I make. I take this spiral Dremel cutter thing and drill a hole kinda sidewaysy into the back of the frames for the curve of the hinges to wrap around into. I like doing this better than going perpendicular with a straight hole and a straight hinge because it feels stronger, but the ones I made that way never broke, so it might just be easier doing it like that. I use this black CA glue to glue it because with the accelerator it dries instantly, and the black matches the hinges. I drop it in until it almost hits the surface, then I hold it in place where I want it while I spray the accelerator. I snap off the metal side pieces and cut a groove into the wooden ones to match it. Then it's time to glue them in, and I do so carefully to avoid getting any glue that would affect the hinge. After that, they are pretty much done. I just sand them in any places that still need it, and then apply the finish. I use this water-based wood turners finish because it's meant for salad bowls that you can eat out of, so if it's good enough to eat off of, I'm okay with putting it on my face. First, I wipe it on using a shop towel, and once I sandbag down the rough spots, I use this foam brush, which works well and leaves a glossy finish. Once it dries, and I'm happy with the finish, we can snap back in the lenses, and we got a new pair of shades. Alright guys, we got them done, and they looking clean. I'm really happy with how they turned out. I ended up putting like 6 or 7 coats of the finish on just to really build it up, which helps protect it and also gives that glass-like finish, which I really like on the glasses. It's actually Father's Day right now, like 4 o'clock, so I'm about to go give it to him, and he's gonna like him. We better like him. And until next project, so, peace.